And that's exactly what it ended up. Whip! Here's a gentleman that can't be too happy about losing the belt, but even more so than that was the way. I think the fans told you what happened, Jerry.
Well, you're exactly right. Not only did the fans tell me, I went in the back, watched the little replay, and it's as obvious as the nose on your face, Lance, exactly what happened. Doug Gilbert, what's the deal, huh? What's the deal with Doug Gilbert coming out, and I got a title match with Tommy Rich? Doug Gilbert comes out with a chain and wins it for Tommy Rich. I want to know, Doug, are you man enough to come out here and try to explain your actions? You come out here in front of everybody, you want to be Mr. Big Fan Favorite, you want to shake hands, you want to high-five everybody, then you want to hit somebody with a chain when their back's turned. Why don't you come out here, Doug Gilbert? Explain just exactly what's going on.
No,
he won't come out here.
Yeah, here he comes. Now let's keep it down to just conversation here today. I know you want to know what he had on his mind. Why?
Lawler, I've got a lot on my mind, and for the last 4 days, I'm sure you know what I've had on my mind. It's all been you. It's all been you. Because of you, I lost my USWA tag team belts today.
Because of me? What are you talking about?
Because of you. You know what I'm talking about, Jerry Lawler. Don't sit out here. You might be in front of all these fans, and you want to think you're such a good guy. You're not. You know what you did, and it's better that me and you talk about this back here, and we don't talk about it out here. I'm telling you that right now.
Let me just say this. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you've been doing last night, but maybe your brain ain't exactly right. I think you're talking out of your rear end because your head would know better. What are you talking about? I got no clue. How did I cause you to lose your tag title?
Let me tell you how you caused me. I'm sick. I'm fed up to here with you, Lawler, and what that is about. A guy called you. They're having a first anniversary show memorial for my brother in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Jerry Lawler. And he called you, and he asked you, said, King, could you come on up here and be on this show? What did you tell him, Jerry Lawler? See, it ain't what you did, it's what you won't do. See, you try to tell all these people, you're the big king, which I give you respect, and I give you credit. And I told you about 2 months ago, I would stand in line, and I would wait till you was through, and then I would take care of business around here. But Jerry Lawler, you're not half of the man I thought you was. You won't do nothing that you say. Me and my brother did so much for you, Jerry Lawler, and I guess you just seem to forget what me and my brother did for you, I guess, huh, King?
Yeah. So that's what this is all about.
That's what it's all about, and I'm telling you, right now.
No, wait a minute. Hold, stop right there. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me do a little telling around here. Yeah, a promoter did call me from Philadelphia. And he tells me they're having a big extravaganza. It's a memorial for Eddie Gilbert. Yeah. But why don't you tell everybody who that promoter is? Well, maybe everybody won't know who he is, but I sure as hell know who he is. His name is Dennis Carluzza. Do you remember that name? Or do you remember everything you and your brother did for me? Do you remember who Dennis Carluzza is? He's a shyster from Philadelphia who a few years ago came down here and made my life miserable by trying to claim to everybody that I had a couple of illegitimate kids running around Philadelphia. That's the same Dennis Carluzza that is promoting this big show, memorial for Eddie Gilbert. So, no, I don't care about being on that, but let me tell you this, Doug.
No, you let me tell you something. Like I said, you must not remember nothing. You must not, you're talking about, I must be stupid or my memory's bad. No, your memory's bad. You think back about 13 years ago, everything my brother did for you, everything I did for you, and then what are you going to do in return? What are you going to do? You going to run the WWF, or are you going to go home? You're going to go there in Walnut Grove and sit at your house?
Let's say this right now, Doug Gilbert. You want to talk about everything you and your brother did for me? Why don't we talk about everything you and your brother did to me? You want to talk about that? Let's talk about somebody's memory being good. My memory's real good, Doug Gilbert. I remember everything that you and your brother ever did to me. I remember right out here in the parking lot of this television station one day when your brother Eddie slammed me through the windshield of a car. I remember another time when I won a car and your brother Eddie came out with a baseball bat and busted the windshield out while I was sitting in it and glass went in my eyes. But let's top it all off. I'll tell you something I remember. You ought to remember this. You were sitting right beside him right out here in the parking lot when you and your brother were in a car and he ran ran over me and could have killed me. And you think he cared? Did you care? Let's talk about the stuff that you did to me. No, I'm not going to be on no memorial show for Eddie Gilbert, and I ain't making no apologies about it. Do you understand that?
Will you let me tell you one thing? Wait a minute. You know, Jerry Lawler, all these stinking people's always been behind you. Y'all be behind him, man. If it wasn't for you stinking people, he wouldn't even be here. It wouldn't be for, guys like Doug Gilbert, myself, and Eddie Gilbert. You wouldn't be here. It's guys that's helped you out, that's helped you make a name. Hey, if it wasn't for us and all these people, you wouldn't even be here, Jerry Lawler. Hey, and the bottom line is, whether you or these people, either one, think this man's right, I think he's 100% right, Lawler.
That's fine, Tommy Rich, because I know the way both of you think. I don't forget stuff. And I don't forget what Eddie Gilbert did. I don't forget what you did, Tommy Rich. I don't forget when I had a match against Austin Idol with my hair at stake. It was a lowlife named Tommy Rich who hid under the ring. Hid under the ring for 6 hours. You hid under the ring for 6 hours. And when they put up the cage and the match started, who came crawling out like a snake? Tommy Rich. And I got my head shaved. I thought about you every day for about 6 months. Hey, and it was you and Austin Idol who took my legs and pulled me into that ring post, Tommy Rich, and I had to have surgery. And I think about you and your brother every single day.
And you ought to think about it because it's your guilty conscience of what you... it is. See, you remember everything. That's because you're a dinosaur and times are changing.
I remember everything, and I'm going to remember today, too. I'm going to remember the little trick you pulled today, and don't think you've heard the last of the king on it, okay?
You're talking about the fact that it was... From behind, Doug Gilbert rattles Lawler as Rich and Gilbert are out here. Lawler out by himself. Oh, boy. Nail Lawler down. Yeah, that's the kind of attitude that tells everybody that you hadn't changed a bit. Oh, now don't do it. Pile driver right here on the studio floor.
I bet you remember that, King, don't you? Hey, you remember that?
Come on, Richard.
Lawler knocked down. We're going to take a break and see if we can get somebody get in here. Get these guys out of here and let's help Jerry out.